you, Robin. Dr. Gishad, what is the latest? Of course, there had been a decision that would have had to have been taken at 3 o'clock with regard to whether the hurricane warning was going to remain in effect. Where are we in that regard?
Well, I'm pleased to say that the hurricane warning has now been downgraded to a tropical storm warning. So a tropical storm warning is now valid for Bermuda. The hurricane warning is no longer. So allow me to just give a quick update on Hurricane Paulette as of 3 p.m. this afternoon, just 10 minutes ago. Its location was 100 nautical miles north of Bermuda, moving away to the north-northeast at 13 miles an hour, so it's starting to speed up away from us. It has a minimum central pressure now of 965 millibars and a maximum sustained winds of just over 90 knots. So it is intensifying, it continues to intensify as it moves away from us, which caused the problems we had earlier in the day. This afternoon, where not only was it moving away, but it was also intensifying and increasing in size. So that's why we needed to continue to extend that hurricane warning. But now that's been downgraded, we do still, I should add, have hazardous conditions out there. So that tropical storm warning is anticipated until late evening, estimated around 9 p.m. Before we can remove that. There are still hazardous conditions, as I mentioned. We do still have rough seas out there. There's wet weather. There's frequent showers, shower bands coming through, making conditions wet, especially on the roads. And tropical storm force winds of 35 to 50 knots currently. So we're still in unpleasant conditions, let's say, but less dangerous. And that's why we have that tropical storm warning in effect.
You mentioned that the tropical storm warning will remain in effect until possibly 9 o'clock. Is the same situation going to obtain where there's going to be a review come 9 o'clock and a decision made as to whether to downgrade that tropical storm warning again?
Good question. I think we're much more confident at this stage now that Paulette is starting to make its move out of the area and has moved sufficiently far enough away that we're only just in tropical storm conditions now. So we can expect to more confidently be able to remove that tropical storm warning late this evening.
And what happens after that?
After that, we'll have a small craft warning in effect, which will be your, I don't want to say run-of-the-mill, but your sort of more frequent type of warning that we have that is often, most of the time, not associated with a tropical system. So that will be to cover continuing decrease in the winds below those sort of tropical storm force levels. So from late this evening, 20 to 30 knots, still a few gusts around maybe in excess of 40, and then continuing to decrease rapidly until it's only 15 to 20 knots towards dawn. Confused seas with hazardous surf continue through this evening. With seas outside the reef 15 to 25 feet, but they are decreasing as you might expect as the storm moves further and further away. Sunset this evening is at 7:25. That's worth knowing for any cleanup activities that are going on. And once again, we still have some showers in the area.
That was going to be my next question. Where are we in terms of the rainfall situation? So thank you very much, Dr. Gishad. It's good to know that we are now, the hurricane warning, has now been downgraded to a tropical storm warning. That tropical storm warning, as you say, is expected to be downgraded as at 9 o'clock this evening, when we will be down to what is the small step after that? Small craft warning. After that, the winds are currently 35 to 50 knots under the tropical storm warning. So again, things have improved significantly. Is that the correct term to use, significantly?
Sure.
So things have improved significantly.
I will allow it.
We're beginning to look up. So again, the hurricane warning has been discontinued. We're now under a tropical storm warning that's expected to last until 9 o'clock tonight, followed by a small craft warning. So we're approaching what will be considered normal, hopefully by 9 tonight. And I guess we're going to have the next update from you when Dr. Gishad?
I'm not sure about that. I know that there are some conversations at the ministerial and the EMO level about the next steps. So I'll defer to the leadership on that.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And I can inform listeners and viewers that we are having a Facebook. Well, tune into Facebook. Stay on Facebook, rather. We're going to be having a Zoom call with the minister in just a few minutes. Hopefully, the minister is going to provide us some additional information that will coincide with what Dr. Gishad just provided. Again, we are now under a tropical storm warning, and that is expected to last until 9 tonight. That will be then downgraded to a small craft warning, which will go into tomorrow, Tuesday. Thank you again, Dr. Gishad.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. And you're listening to 100.1 FM, the emergency broadcast station. Stay with us. Again, we're going to have that Zoom call with the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Renee Ming, in just a few minutes. As promised, we are back on 100.1 FM, the emergency broadcast station, bringing you the latest updates. Gary, well, joining us now, as we discussed just before we took that short break, we are joined by the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Renee Ming. Minister Ming, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Gary, and Robert. How are you today?
We're doing well. Thank you, Minister. All right, I guess we're going to continue then. We just had word from the Bermuda Weather Service, the director there, Mr. Dr. Mark Gishad, indicating that the hurricane watch has been discontinued. We're now down, hurricane warning, has been discontinued. We're now down to a tropical storm warning, and that is until 9 tonight, when the tropical storm warning will be downgraded to a small craft warning. What does this mean going forward in terms of the resumption of normal activity?
First of all, I want to say good afternoon to Bermuda, and I am happy to say that we've managed to make it through a very serious hurricane. I'm pretty sure that we both had a difficult night and morning, but I'm happy to say that I know I'm sitting talking to you from what I believe to be the other side. And I think when I spoke to the public yesterday, I asked them, I said, if you follow the instructions, if you use your common sense and be cautious, that we would come out through the other side. I want to thank from the other side, first and foremost, for doing that. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to once again thank our emergency and essential workers, because they have worked throughout this hurricane, and it was a serious hurricane. And we are here now able to talk about what our restoration actually starts to look like. So, Gary, just so that you know, we have now, the status has changed from hurricane watch. And so what you're seeing now is in the midst of making a test. And so, we're still encouraging persons to stay home, because while we have persons on the way to the assessment, on the way, on the causeway, on buildings, you don't need everyone kind of be out there driving around, having a look right now, because these assessments are critical to us being able to give an all clear and open up. And so we're mindful of the time of the day that we actually are starting the assessment, because you would want to have a good bit of sunlight and daytime to be able to make these assessments. But there are some that are starting today. Because there is one that I've been asked about a few times, and I just want to say that and you guys know I'm a diehard in Georgia, and that causeway is very important to me. But what I need is to try to form it is safe for my constituents and anyone to travel on. So the assessment is going to happen on the causeway, and it may or may not be as of today. I'm certain it's not going to be as of today, because as we look outside, we still don't have the best conditions, but we are doing our assessment. And so I'm just asking for everyone to continue to have their, the patience and work with us. We want to ensure that everything is safe, as we can at any time. Also, under their assessment right now in terms of their critical restoration work. And so they see the Velcro trucks out on the road. Be mindful of that. This is why we're saying please stay safe, because their assessments are important as well. And just for the public's cooperation right now, as we try to get everything up and going, we know that persons are looking to have their electricity on, looking to be able to check on family members. And so we're just saying, be patient and let's stay off the road, allow us to get our assessments done, and we can get country back on the running as soon as possible. And just today, there's the mobilization. We'll have a meeting today at 5 p.m. We'd like to have what we'll be doing is discussing the assessment, discussing restoration, discussing where we are as a country. And we will then come out to the public and have a press. It's not a press conference, we'll find a medium to be able to give you some information as well. And that should probably be about 7 or 7:30. So we ask the public to look forward to that update, because we'll again give you information. And see if that information is critical and allows you to govern yourselves accordingly.
So, Minister, those assessments will not be able to be completed today, is that correct? Minister? Minister, hello, can you hear us? Well, it appears that we continue to have internet issues, but you heard from the Minister that the assessments are going to be carried out, maybe not all of it this evening because of the light situation, particularly as it relates to the causeway. The causeway will not be opening today. There is going to be a meeting of the EMO, the Emergency Measures Organization, at 5 this afternoon, following which there will be a press conference between 7 and 7:30 this evening to provide information on the outcome of that meeting. Also, Belco assessments are currently underway. That is, of course, to look at their infrastructure, the number of down poles, the number of down lines and such that need to be rectified before the power supply can turn back on and that returned to normal. Of course, this is going to require your cooperation by staying off of the streets to allow the heavy vehicles to do the necessary clearance, the necessary clearing of debris, fallen trees, the replacement of fallen poles and such, and that will not happen within an hour or 2 hours, as the case might be. And more than likely, Belco's restoration is going to be on a rolling basis. I don't want to speak for them. Hopefully, we're going to be able to get Shelly Lehman to give us some information on that at some point. So the assessments are being done. More than likely, the assessment of the roadways are going to be done first, with the aim of having those cleared to allow for the return of traffic. But even before that is done, the authorities would like to have Belco and the Department of Public Works do their necessary assessments to ensure that the roadways are clear of any debris and the fallen poles and such to allow for the restoration of the electricity service. Hopefully, now I understand the minister can now hear me. Minister, I just basically recounted all that you stated in your address. The assessments, it's unlikely that they're all going to be completed today. Is that correct?
That's correct, Derek. The assessments for what I've been made to understand they need sufficient light to be able to properly function. And so we are nearing the end of the day, and conditions are still what they are. So we may not be able to complete everything today. And so what we're doing is if we're not able to complete, there will be hope first thing tomorrow morning, looking to complete the assessment. One thing I did want to also say, Gary, is that the Premier Regiment will be out as well, and they will be assisting with the legislative services because I'm mindful that if we have any medical emergencies that and not everything to get through, there's very things that happen as well. And this is one of the reasons why we're asking the public to just have some patience with us because we are now seeing firsthand what damage we have, and it's still kind of dangerous to be out there. And so be patient, stay at home, and allow us to do our work to be able to get them here up and running.
How long do you think before vehicles will be allowed out onto the roadway?
I'm sorry, that's to be clear. You said how long do I think before vehicles will be able to
access the roadways?
I don't have a time frame for that right now, Gary. We want to, like I said, we're being careful. We're making the assessments. We want it to be safe for people to travel on.
All right, so that meeting this evening of the EMO takes place at 5 o'clock, and the press conference is going to be at 7 or 7:30.
We're pushing for 7, but it's not, we will be between 7 and 7:30. I would like to be able to engage the public again and give them more information about what's going on.
Have you had any communication with Belco at all in terms of the commencement of their assessments?
Yes. We had a post meeting at 2 o'clock, and Belco gave us an update on that started the restoration and the people out and just kind of making an assessment again on if it was even safe for them to go on at that time. And yes, we have contacted Belco.
And were they able to give you any indication as to when their assessments will be completed?
Okay, so were they able to give me an indication that they'll be able to start?
No, when their assessments will be completed.
They weren't able to give an indication of that. Everyone's at the very initial stages of being able to even start the assessment. So to us, we're not quite sure when you can say how long will be completed. But what Belco were able to tell us is that it has 25,000 customers in our power. And so they do recognize that they do have their work cut out for them.
Okay, Madam Minister, and finally, the causeway will definitely not be opening today.
I'm sorry, Gary, I couldn't get that.
The causeway will definitely not be reopening today.
The chances are the answer to that will be no, Gary. Because as I said to you, the assessment on the causeway has to be complete as well.
Okay, Madam Minister, thank you very much for this very informative update. As you heard from the Minister, again, assessments being done, people still being asked to stay off of the roadways, stay at home, to allow for these assessments to be completed and for the roadways to be cleared and such, to allow for Belco to complete their assessments as well, and for the restoration of the electricity supply, normal electricity supply, to be restored in the quickest order. We're going to try to get some comment or speak with Shelley Lehman of the Bermuda Electric Light Company to get the exact information from Belco's perspective in terms of what happens next. So stay with us. We're going to try to reach Shelley, and when we do, we're going to get back with you.
Also, EMO will meet today at 5 p.m. And after that time, we'll also have some decisions will be made, and we'll provide critical updates for you at 7 o'clock as well.
Okay, roger that. We look forward to seeing you then, Minister.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, Shelley, if you can hear us, please feel free to give us a call. If not, we're going to be nuisances and get in contact with you. So we hope that you have the information that we've been looking for when we reach out to you in just a little bit. You're listening to the Emergency Broadcast Network on Emergency Broadcast Station, on 100.1 FM. Stay with us.